I'm doing a full face Demi look today, concentrating on the under eyes, but just overall no makeup look. My name is Lisa, esthetician and Seint makeup artist, and I'm going to show you how to get flawless under eyes with Demi. First off, this is cream makeup, which allows you to put this on in light layers so it looks like skin. And the first thing that I do before I even put on any of the shades is I use Seint's Balm. This is more of a skincare product, and it just really helps the makeup glide on. You only need a very, very light layer, and it just keeps everything supple and smooth, which is really amazing for mature skin. Just as a quick aside, I was really excited that this has squalane in it, which is a skincare ingredient that is very beneficial for keeping your skin balanced and hydrated. So this, I think, is very important to have in your kit. So onto the shades and technique. So Seint Demi is based on color theory and color correction. So this depends on what you've got going on your under eyes or anywhere else on your skin that needs to be color corrected. That's how I determine what color you need. So for me, my colors, I have a lot of blues on my under eyes, so I go with this. It's an orange and a level 3, and I always start with that, and this is a bright brush. And this actually helps you feather light application, helps you have like this feather light buffed application on the under eyes. And with this cream makeup, all you have to do is just tap very lightly. So if you could see the difference here, you could see like some blues. Let me see if I could do this without having to look in a mirror and just use my screen. And you just put like the tiniest bit of this Demi, and you could already see how much that brightened up. And let me go in another area that is usually very dark for me, which is out here, this outer corner. And then you have this other side of the brush, which is a little buffer, and you just tap everything out and it melts into the skin, and it really brightens everything up, and it looks like you have zero makeup on. Going a little further, this is always, it's usually like an issue for a lot of people, the inner corner brightness here, or darkness I should say, and you want to brighten it up. And right here, I can see a little bit better in my mirror actually, so I think I'll probably use that. And you see how it's just melting into the skin. And I only had to do a couple of key spots where there's darkness, so I don't have to like overload my skin with makeup. And now, once I get down into this area, which is the trough area, I use one that's a little bit lighter. This is 01, orange 1. So that just means the numbers just kind of dictate the level of depth in the color. So I usually go under the trough and a little bit on it, and that gives the illusion that that indent is being pushed forward. Now, normally I extend that even here, but I'm going to do this side, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. This is like some sort of scratch. I don't know what happened. I mean, it could be from my nail, perhaps, like while I was washing my face. Really weird. But I woke up with it, and I was like, huh. So I'm going to show you just very minimally, instead of caking on a bunch of concealer, liquid-based concealer, in order to try to camouflage this. The Demi works so well because it looks like skin, and it makes everything still look hydrated. Okay, so my 03. Because this is where I have a little bit of darkness still. And then with these brushes, so this is the Demi Bright brush. There's several in the line, depending on what it is that you're doing or what you need to do. So depending on your needs, we pick the proper brush or brushes. A lot of people can just get away with one, and this is a great like multitasking brush, this bright brush. All right, so at this point, the color correction is done. So before I get onto the brightening, oh, maybe I should do the top of my eyelids too, because I use the fluffy end for this, and this is the 03, and I just tap in. And if you can see, there's like a light dusting. I'm not overloading my brush, and it just cancels out any of the depth, like that dark blues and veins and stuff that I have going on up here. And then you could just leave it like this. You could put eyeshadow, like very light eyeshadow if you want, where you barely have any makeup on. So I love this Demi for no makeup days. Now we're going to get to this little pesky whatever it is. I am going to use, now I started out with these two colors. Most people only need 1 or 2 colors for color correction on a daily basis. Demi was also intended to have like a collection of colors, probably about 4, depending on what's going on. So you get blemishes, you might need something with a little more green into it. So you will have a couple of different shades depending on what you need to color correct, because our needs change daily and different things could crop up. But for this particular thing here, now it looks red, but it also looks like it's starting to heal, so there's a little bit of blue in it. Again, I'm gonna figure all of this out for you. So, because it sounds like super complicated, but once you get the shades that you need and the technique you have down, it literally is so quick and fast to pick what it is that you need to do whenever you need it. All right, so this here has a little bit of yellow on it. So that is going to combat any purple. So I'm gonna see if I could put it on. Oh, also, I am using a different type of a brush that I actually chose. Let me see if I can put it on a white background. This is literally from like the art supply store. And this, I think it was like Michael's or something like that. So, and it's very, very pinpoint, because we do have one called the spot brush that has a pinpoint, but this is even thinner than that. So when you have something so small that you need to conceal, or color correct rather. So let's see if I can get a little bit closer. And now I am going to use the fluffy end of my bright brush just to tap, so I'm not displacing the product. Let's see if I need a little more. And it's very light tapping, barely touching or rubbing on the skin. So that's it, it's gone. So and I don't have like a huge glob of concealer that's just gonna sit there and actually draw even more attention to it. There. And now for brightening, I am going to avoid this tiny little spot just so I don't displace any product. Now you could set it if you want with very light translucent powder, but I usually don't, and it's fine. As long as I'm not rubbing all over my face, it's gonna stay put because it is on so thin. Getting back to my bright brush, this is the fluffy side, and this is the brighter of the two colors that I have. This is my brightening shade, and I'm gonna go under, and you can see it's so subtle, but it makes such a big difference. And then out here, and kind of go around. A little bit right here too, perhaps, right next to it. Yes, that's better. And that's it. So you can see the difference between the two here. So this is the eye that has nothing on it, and then this is the color corrected eye. So it still looks like my skin, but I have all of that bluish discoloration gone. So now I'm gonna do this side, and I'll do it in real time so you can see how quick it is when I'm not talking and taking forever. That's it. That's how fast it is. Once you know the shades that you need. And now I'm just gonna do some general toning on my skin, because Demi originally was intended for this purpose, to literally be no makeup makeup. I have no foundation on my face at all. And what we do is we have some sculpt colors and we have some toning colors. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get my sculpt color. I forgot. So these are actually going to be discontinued, and they're still available, and they're gonna be available for a little while longer. So let me know if you're interested in this no makeup makeup look and technique, because I will show you exactly how to do it. And this here is one of the shades, and I'm gonna put in here, this is the NV +1. So this is my sculpt shade, and then these here, this is more for like toning the skin. You don't have to worry about knowing what any of that means. I will guide you through all of it depending on your skin tone and what you need to color correct. I'll be able to figure all of that out from makeup-free selfie that you can send me. All of my information is down below in the description on how to contact me. All right, so now I'm gonna go into the sculpt first. So I'm gonna show you just really quickly. This is the shape brush. This is also on the Demi line, and I'm just gonna do a couple of taps here. And this brush is designed for whisper light application of this Demi, because this actually gives you more of an airbrushed look. So I'm going to do my sculpting first, and then I'm going to go and do a little bit of toning and some color, adding some color back into my face with the other shades that I showed you before. And that's it. This is how fast it is. So it's not a harsh contour. It literally is airbrushed on. Going back in, you could even do like around your jaw if you want. You see how quick this is. A little bit up here if you want. I usually don't. I just do it this more just like for a little bit of color, but you can absolutely do a little bit more of a dramatic contour if you need to, and just build up the color, because these are very easily buildable. I'm going to use that same bright brush, and this is for my eyes actually, because you could also use these to create some depth on your eyes. And that's it. It's literally like airbrushed on. Now onto the toning. These two, this is 05 and 07. Again, we're gonna figure out what it is that you need based on the shades that Seint still has available. And I just tap in between both. And then just use a little bit to kind of, almost like a bronzer, but this is all done with color correction, which is crazy because it doesn't seem like that would make sense, but I love how this just like warms up the complexion very, very naturally and subtly, because this looks so orange here, but it's not translating that way on the skin, because this Demi is for that airbrush look in order to color correct the skin tone that you have. You know, so for me, I'm a little bit more, it's kind of strange. I have like a little bit more of like ashy and sometimes some sallow undertones, and this orange combats that, like, you know, like that bluish, you know, color that I sometimes could have in my skin. And you see how feather light I'm putting it on? It looks like it's dusted. And then on the skin, it does not translate this orange. I absolutely love this Demi. And that's it. That's all you need for no makeup look. Literally just a few shades depending on what you're looking for. You can absolutely just do like your 2 shades for general color correcting, especially if it's your under eyes like me. Like I always have that issue, but everybody's issues are different. And maybe 1 other color if you tend to have acne, you know, so we would take a look and see what it is that you have and what to color correct in the different stages of, you know, active acne that you have. And then if you wanted to get 1 or 2 of toning colors and then a sculpting color. And that's it. You would have a full Demi kit, anywhere between 3 and 6 shades, and you would have these last forever too. That's another thing. You saw how lightly I have to get in there and just very lightly tap with my brush. And these are cream based, they're not water based, so the shelf life is a lot longer. So I've already had these for a couple of years and they're totally fine and still very malleable, and I could use them easily. So again, all of my info is in the description. Contact me. You could also text me too, because my text service number is the easiest way to contact me, and we'll talk about like your skin, any issues that you may be having, if you want like skincare recommendations, because I do that too for my customers, which I really, really love. Really helping people with their skin, and it goes hand in hand, makeup and skin, to me especially. You know what I mean? It's very, very important to have like a good solid skincare regime and having balanced skin, and then the makeup that you put on top makes your skin look that much better. So yeah, text me, or you could even just go on my Linktree and everything is there. You could even fill out one of the color match form. There's a tab for that, and it's just a short questionnaire about your skin, what you're looking for in your makeup, and all of that stuff. And yeah, so basically what you do is you have no makeup on and you just stand in front of a window, hold out your phone, and snap the selfie, and that way you have indirect natural light on your face so I could see your undertones and any discolorations that you have, and then you let me know what your concerns are and what it is that you would like to enhance or color correct. So thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you soon.